This video, we are going to be setting up the sheet. And by setting up, I mean including views in the drawing sheet that we started working on earlier. Right now, I'm in the section looking north. I'm going to scroll down to where the sheets are, and this is the only one that's included in this project right now. I eliminated all the other ones. When I go to that sheet, it's going to include, I can see from my title that it's going to include the roof plan, the section, and the south elevation. So a couple things I'm going to do in preparation. First of all, I'm going to go to where the elevations are. In this project, I'm not going to be including the east, north, and west elevations. I'm just going to have the south one. So I'm going to double click in there, and it's going to rename. I'll right click and rename. I'm just going to change this to, I should see that in this tab up here, it's now changed. All right, so now I have the section looking north, I have a south elevation, and for my plans, I still only have level 1 and level 2 that were the default floor plans in the project. But I'm going to include a roof plan, and that roof plan is going to be associated with level 5. So I need to create a new view in the project. So I'm going to do this. I am going to go to the View tab here, where it says Plan Views. I'm going to click here. I'm going to create a floor plan, and I'm going to base it off of L5 and say OK. All right, so it currently has shown in here the column lines that are running north-south. Now, why are we not seeing the ones that are running in the east-west direction? It has to do with how high they were made. I'm going to go to the east elevation, and I'm going to click on these. Right now they're locked, so I'll unlock it, and then I'm going to take it and stretch it up here and down here. Looks like I have to do each one individually. Well, for some reason, 2 were associated with the other one was not. Now let's go back to the floor plan that I just created, and you can see now that column lines A, B, and C are appearing. B is sort of underneath that elevation target. All right, so now I have the view created, but I'm going to do the same thing here by renaming it, right click, rename, and I'm going to change this to that. Okay, so what you'll see is that, it's changed it in all the locations that it was associated with in the project file, and that's fine for now. Okay, I'm going to go back to sheet A 101. Go down to, should be here, double click. So there's already one view on this sheet, and it is, when I click on it and I scroll down in the properties window, it's telling me the view name is L1 Architectural, and it's associated with this view floor plan L1 Architectural. We're not going to include this, so I'm just going to click on it and I'm going to delete it from the sheet. All right, so next what we do is we drag in the views that will be included. And one thing you want to keep in mind is that as you drag in views, it will automatically number them 1, 2, 3. So you can always change the numbers, but it's probably a better, faster, more productive way is to just drag them in the order that you want them. So I'm going to start by coming up to this roof plan and dragging it from the project browser into the sheet. It's going to be the one at the top of the page. And I'll shift them around once I've brought them all in. The next one is going to be the section looking north. So I'll drag that and place that in here. And the last one will be that elevation, which will be at the bottom. So now when I zoom in here, you can see that it's brought them in, it's numbered them. Roof plan is 1. Section looking north is 2. And so it didn't change that. What we can do, click on it, and let's see, there should be one that says title on sheet. And that one should also say okay, now it's a matter of kind of adjusting, rearranging the sheet, getting things so that they are in alignment. Sometimes it's a little difficult when you have these scope boxes appearing to kind of see what's going on. What I'm going to do is go to the views, and I'm going to start to hide some of this information that is really not necessary for us at the moment. I'm going to go to the roof plan first, and you may have seen a solid line here. These are concerning the scope of the view, and I'm just going to get rid of. We already know approximately where things need to be. So you right click, hide in view, and hide these elements. And you'll need to do this for all of the drawings that are going to appear. Also, I want to move this elevation target so it's closer. Because right now it's going to fall off the page, so I'm going to use the move tool and kind of click in there. I'm going to try to center these or place them so that they're on the same center lines as those column bubbles. You want to do this very precisely. Go to the Annotate tab, make a detail line on, let's say, a quadrant point. And then what you can do is go to the Modify tab, use the Alignment tool. I'm going to click the line that I made, and then I'm going to click on this. Okay, so I'm going to do this differently. Instead of the alignment tool will work in some instances, but in this case, I'm going to just move this up a little bit, and then I'm going to use the move tool again. Click on the target, move, and snap from the center here down to the line that I just made. So you can go around and make this revision to the other targets on the sheet. This one here is okay where it is, but I want to make the section target so that it centers on the elevation target. So I'm going to make that change. And also this one right here really wants to be shifted so it's not sitting on top of this column line. So I'm going to click on this elevation target, and I'm going to move it so that it's a little bit above. I'm going to click the new tool, pick the target, and then enter, and then just move it up a few feet. I'm try picking the target first, moving it up like that. There we go. All right, so how far does it need to be? Just far enough that it's not sort of sitting directly on the column line. Just a bit so it's more centered. Okay. So to move the section target so it aligns, I'm going to make myself just a temporary little detail line and snap to the elevation target. And then I'm going to click on the section target, and I'm not going to do this super precisely, but I'll just drag it in so that it has the same, roughly the same center as the elevation target. Do that on the other side as well. I made a line, I shifted it over, and then I deleted the line, and I'm going to delete the line from this side too. Okay, and last thing would be to move this elevation target closer to the view. How close should it be? I'll just leave it, approximately right there. And now I'm going to go back to sheet A101, minimize some of these. Okay, so now you can see like almost everything is kind of brought together. The one thing that I do need to move up into place is the title of the drawing. It's floating down here. So the way you do this would be to click on that title line and then just bring it closer. I'm going to bring it just underneath. You know, to move that title, you click on it and drag it, but to shorten the tail, you click on the view and you drag that the end of that line. Try to roughly align it with the objects above. Okay, so now it's ready to kind of be moved into the site or into the sheet. But I'm going to go through the same process with my south elevation and my section. So let's go to the south elevation. Take a look at it. Everything is pretty much pulled in as necessary, so maybe I don't need to do anything with that one. Section looking north, same thing, but I do want to turn off this off window. So I'm going to right click, hide elements, and I'll do that with these as well. So hide this one, but can maybe use that as a reference line. South elevation, same thing, just hide all these. So that one is done, and now I'll go back to my sheet and continue making a few more revisions here. Again, when I click on the view, I can see that the south elevation is below here, and something with this section looking north, and bring that up. And this will take a little bit of time to sort of tweak it so everything is good. Move this down onto the sheet. And so in terms of, getting it located left to right, I just want to make sure that everything is included inside the title border. Looks like I can move this up just a little bit. Um, a little tricky to pick the items that you're working with. So that one is the section. And what I want to do is get everything so they're centered. See how they're all kind of shifted left to right? So you can click on these and drag them around. But we want like column line number 6, for example, to be in alignment all the way across. I could try to use the alignment tool to do that. I might have to create a sort of detail line for that. Let's see if we can get them all. Okay, I think the easiest way to do this is first of all, I'm gonna just work on one of these at a time. I'm gonna take this elevation, I'm gonna move it down just so I have a little bit of space to visualize what's going on. So I have the top one, I want to move it over just a little bit more. So, oops, the bottom one. So I'm just using the arrow keys to sort of set it left to right. So it's roughly centered. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to annotate and I'm going to make a detail line and I'm going to use this column 6. It could be any column. I'm just going to make a long line all the way down here. And then what I will do is use the align tool to modify my detail line and then actually I think it needs to be the move tool. Move tool, and I'm going to move this element from here to that detail line that I just made. Okay, great. So now you can see that the number 6 is tracking down here, and I'll do the same thing for this one, even though it's not on the sheet yet. Use the move tool, bring it from this endpoint, drag it over so that it has that same alignment. Then I can delete that line, click on it and hit the delete key and click on these views. And I'm just using my arrow keys to kind of nudge it upwards and move this top view so that it's pretty close. I'll leave a little bit of space between the border and the top of that. This one to place. So you might think that these won't fit, but um, so right now, these are kind of very close to the edge, but I'm going to leave them as is because I think we will make some more changes to this sheet a little bit later. Right? So it may not look great, but at least got them sort of situated on the sheet. So that is the final, those are the final sets of steps for the last one.